we have a call to order?
I move to call to order.
Isn't that right?
All
We
seconds.
do that?
You can
You can just call
Yeah?
to order?
Okay, I'm like,
Okay.
All right,
I'm like,
good
I
deal.
don't know. All right, so it is a pleasure to introduce Lauren Lessing, who is the director of the Stanley Museum, who is joining our committee. And so thank you so much. And everyone will introduce themselves to you over time. So I really appreciate you doing
It's
this.
delightful to be here. Very pleased to help in any way that I can.
That's great. So thank you. And so she's serving as the University of Iowa ex officio representative. Okay, so the next order of business is a public discussion. Is there any items not on the agenda that people would like to bring up? No? Okay. Did everyone have a chance to look at the minutes of the April 2nd, 2026 PAC meeting?
the very short minutes.
The tornado minutes?
Yes, we saw that.
Yes, those would be the ones.
It was that day.
It was that day.
Duck and cover minutes. Yeah.
Yes, motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
The minutes are accepted and passed. And so now it is, we're going to discuss the approval of community-initiated art project, Capitol Street Parking, the ramp sustainability mural, which Rachel sent us all images of. And did you want to say a few words
Sure,
about
I can.
that?
I'll just invite the student who's coordinating the project, Olivia Arkfeld, up, and she can provide an overview, and then I'm happy to chime in if you have questions.
Hi everyone, I'm back. Some of you are new apparently. So my name's Olivia. I'm the director, or was the director of sustainability for the undergraduate student government. And one of my initiative platform ideas was to get a sustainability mural in downtown campus area. So we landed on the Capitol Street parking ramp. Erica Danner is the muralist, and then we also got a student artist on it. Her name's Ivy Santler. And now we have the design, which she's pulling up. So one minor change is there won't be an outline around the One Earth, but the One Earth is like the impactful statement, and that will be on the two panels closest to the entrance. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of it is all native flowers, and we've also included monarch butterflies. It's tying in a little bit of where I'm from. I'm from Council Bluffs, Omaha area, and there's a native prairie remnant that borders my backyard. So I grew up catching monarch butterflies and raising them from like caterpillars and stuff. And also I just wanted to bring part of that native prairie, because there's only 0.1% left of our native prairies in Iowa, and 99.9% of them are gone. So I wanted to bring a little bit of that into Iowa City as a reminder, a little bit of nostalgia, but also like a reminder that we only have one Earth, and for the sustainability impact as well. So that's kind of where we're at as well.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about? So the committee has not had an update since you first came. So you can
okay.
talk about the artist is on board, the funding is all secured, your timeline, all that kind of stuff.
Okay. Sure. As far as funding goes, USG and GPSG are the main contributors. USG is going to be contributing $5,000, and then GPSG is contributing $3,000. Is Leslie here?
Yeah.
Yeah, Leslie's been working with us to get the student artists on board. They're contributing $1,000 and $250. $250 is going towards the $500 stipend for the student artists, and then we're contributing the other $250 out of the rest of the budget. And then $1,000 is going towards the project. So $9,250 total for the budget. And then, I reached out to Erica. Rachel provided some like examples of how much the murals cost, because originally I think I started at $2,000, which was, probably not going to cover it. And so she provides some examples of murals around town, and I saw Erica's petrichor mural, and really loved it. So I reached out to her, and she agreed. She's been super helpful and on board with the whole process. And she said the mural's valued at 20 to 30K, and she's willing to do it at our budget, which is super kind of her. And she's willing to mentor our student artists as well. So it's been, a crazy ride. Lots of progress in the last 2 months since the last I've seen you guys. But does that cover most of it?
I think so. And then their intent is to start with site prep and painting as soon as tomorrow. If it's approved today, it'll take over the course of a couple of weeks. They have a student paint day that they have planned.
That's this Sunday. Yep.
Okay. And then we would be targeting a ribbon cutting on Friday, May 22nd. So we would put a news release out about that and hope you all can attend. But do you guys have any questions for Olivia or myself about this project?
I'm really interested in the site, and you sent some images.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can, do you have those, Rachel, that we pulled
I
those
have a
up?
picture of like the blank wall. Is that what you're looking at? Like
Yes.
this? Yes.
Yep. So the One Earth is going to be the closest to the side here by Starbucks, and then it'll go all the way down to the end of the 8 panels.
That's great.
Yeah,
I
it'll
think
be
that is
super
so
awesome.
wonderful. It's such a, dreary,
Yeah.
I think I said that. Like, it's, and it's, there's a little bit of irony in there that I appreciate. But
And I think it's cool that even if you don't enter from this side, you still exit down the middle pathway, and so you still see it all the way down, which I think is awesome.
and from the sidewalk, people will see
Yeah,
it.
and the sidewalk. Yeah,
So
for
that's
sure.
really wonderful. I'm so impressed. You
Thank
should
you.
be so proud of what you've accomplished. And
you.
I'm just so grateful for, committee members and staff who supported this from the
Yeah, you guys
beginning.
have been amazing. I really appreciate
But
it.
it was really your vision. So,
Yeah, I think this is great, and I wanted to say how much I appreciate, and kind of what I was speaking to last time with you, is that you put your vision in that with the Monarchs, and I think that's fantastic, because that's what I was meant by, you're the artist too, and I know you're putting all this together, so I wanted, your vision to be represented. It sounded like you did that, which is fantastic.
Thank you.
So yeah, no, I'm really impressed with what you've put together here.
And can you teach us how to do a timeline like yours for our projects? 'Cause that is
Hire
amazing.
Erica, because it could not have happened without her. And Rachel.
yes, and Rachel
Definitely
does a
Rachel,
great
too.
job. So thank you, both of you. And so we need to have a motion and
Do I need to leave for that, or?
no, this is public. It's all public. So you get to, is there any further discussion? So I would entertain a motion if somebody wanted to make one.
A motion to approve the mural? Is that a,
We would need to approve the mural design and then the artist agreement. So yeah,
okay. Can I
can
do
make
it
a-
both in one motion?
I think so. Yeah.
A motion to approve the site as well as the artist design, is that correct?
The artist
the
design and
contract.
the artist
And the
agreement.
contract, there you go, thank you.
Is there a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposition? So that passes unanimously. Congratulations. Thank
you guys
you.
so much.
Thank you, Olivia.
So excited.
We'll
I'll
follow
be
up with
so
you.
excited. And I love that you have students involved and artists.
A
And
really cool blend of a lot of community members, and I think that's very similar to how Iowa City is. It's a blend of the campus and the city itself, so I think that's really cool.
Yeah, definitely.
that's good. Well, thank you so much.
So much. Have a great rest of your day.
You too.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And so now we're going to have a review of the public art inventory maintenance and consider restoration project proposal for Triaxle. I have to say these hemiscylindrical. I think I said that. So did you want to, you have some?
Sure, I can provide a little context. So first, I will just do, and I'll try to pull it up on the screen here. It might not be the easiest to see, but some background. I guess it was over a year ago that we hired the Midwest Arts Conservation Center to come and review all of our artworks and prepare a condition assessment report for us. And so from that report, we were able to kind of lay out all of our artworks based on the priority of what needs to be done in terms of maintenance. The good news was that we didn't have any huge red flags, so we just have the opportunity to kind of chip away at some of those that are needing attention over the next few years. So I thought it would be valuable, since it's been about a year since we got that initial report. I thought we could just do a quick review on where some of them are at. So I included that spreadsheet in your agenda packet, and hopefully you had a chance to look at that, but I will just highlight a few that there have been changes on since we last spoke. So I'll start with the Neighborhood of Seasons project, which is located at the entrance to the Sycamore Greenway Trail. That one, I have been attempting to get in contact with the artist in many, many different ways and have been unsuccessful. So if any of you have a contact or someone who may be able to reach her, let me know, because that would definitely is in the most need of repair. It has some kind of dangerous chipping with those mosaic tiles on it.
Which one is this?
This is Jill Harper's Neighborhood of Seasons.
And so it's getting a hold of Jill that you need assistance with? Okay, I can try to help with that.
Our bronze sculptures in the downtown are all scheduled for that July maintenance and training in collaboration with Midwest Arts Conservation Center and our staff. Our city staff, between the Parks Department and Public Works Department, they have gone out and cleaned and inspected Wings Return, Love is Strange, Just for Kicks, and then they also completed the minor repair that was required to the Snelson sculpture. There was, I think, some cracking in the column. The two other projects that were kind of identified as some of the first priorities were the historic markers in the Longfellow neighborhood. So there's like street toppers by Will Thompson, and then this triaxial hemi-cylindrical court and steel sculpture in City Park. So I requested Dave Dennis, who we've worked with in the past, to do artwork restoration for us, to prepare quotes on those. He is working on the one, personally knows Will Thompson, so has been working with him to prepare a proposal for those historic markers. And then for triaxial, I included that proposal in your agenda packet today. Why it would be good timing to pursue this year is because City Park in general is having some improvements take place over the course of the summer. Obviously the pool, but they're also doing the shelters, a few of the shelters, the skate park, and maybe a few other small things. So it'd just be nice, as that park is getting a facelift, to also do this sculpture. As you might recall, with this one, it was created and fabricated as unpainted Corten steel, and it was painted at some point. So the proposal would be to restore it back to its original form. The method that Dave is proposing is a new technique called garnet blasting. They would be able to do that on site, so just moving it over to the parking lot, complete that garnet blasting, complete the repairs to the anchors, fabricate a new base, and then reinstall it all. That would include pouring a new concrete base for it, which our city staff is able to assist with. So the total project costs, or the project cost that Dave proposed, would be between $8,500 and about $10,000. Are there questions about this proposal? We can take questions about the general maintenance inventory in general, if you have comments or questions about that, and then we can maybe talk about this specific piece's proposal.
I wonder why it would have to be removed, since it's not like going to damage anything around it but grass, if they were to clean it right there.
Well, what it's placed on now is probably not, Ron, you might have better input on this, but it's kind of bolted into 3 individual concrete columns.
They're about this big around, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's not a good long-term mounting solution in general, so we would need to move it anyway. I believe that for the technique that Dave's describing, moving it, again, he's recommending we move it, so I'm not sure.
Well, it would seem like you wouldn't want dust or the elements while he's working on it, like to be able to clean it in a contained environment.
Oh, I thought he was just moving it over to like a parking lot area or something nearby. Isn't that what?
Yep, that's where he'd be completing the work.
It's still outside. It's just,
Yeah, but it's a hard surface.
I just think that the most expensive part is probably moving it and putting it back. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Will it be relocated in the same place, but just a different foundation?
Pretty close, yeah, if not the exact same. I will say one of the reasons he's recommending this garnet blasting technique is because that actually eliminates the cost of transportation. You know, with what was the piece he did down at the Public Works, One's Reality, which was a kind of similar piece. He had to relocate that to Cedar Rapids to do the powder coating and all of that. And so with this technique, he's able to just do it on site. So there's actually no transportation costs. With city equipment, we'd be able to just like move it across the park. And that eliminates the transportation cost. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, can you repeat the estimate?
Yes. The estimated project cost is $8,500, or if he needs to rent a crane, and if the city equipment's not sufficient and they need to rent a piece of equipment, then it would be $9,950.
Okay.
I did include your just a current status of our public art budget in the agenda packet. Sorry, I lost all my pages. I'll try to pull it up. We do have capacity for it. We have about 13,000 remaining in our opportunity fund, and about 5,000 remaining in our maintenance fund. And our fiscal year will start over on July 1. So at that point, we'll start over with a kind of a quote unquote new $52,000 annual budget. We are unable to carry over any funds unless they're encumbered. So that means they're like under contract.
And so our remaining funds are 33,000?
Well, that's a little inaccurate because the matching grant funds have
Right.
been spent. So it's really just the 13 plus 5, so 18,000-ish.
So is there any other project that would be ongoing to spend that money down? If we only spend 10,000 on the Richard Field conservation, that would leave 8,000 sitting on the table, which seems not great. Do we have
Yeah.
plans in mind for that?
At this time, no. Nope.
Oh my gosh, let's spend it. This is just for conservation, or is it for anything?
So where you see the maintenance line where we had 20,000, that was what this committee had decided last year to set aside specifically for maintenance. So we're spending about 15,000 for the MAC training, and then if you wanted to do this, we would do the 10,000 on this project. Then the opportunity fund, where you see the 15,000 designated, that is kind of the unencumbered line. So yeah.
So we need to spend 10,000. We need to spend $8,000. Right. I'm saying this.
Yes.
I'm ex officio here, and I'm just already taking over.
No, you're fine. No, because I think that is a legitimate question. Is there, I personally, and I'm happy to hear from all of you. I do think the rationale of starting with the city park is really great. With that whole redo, it just kind of increases that visibility. And so would any of these others, especially in the orange, be within a budget?
We're also waiting on the estimate from David on the historic markers. So there's still another project outlay there yet, and I don't know what that number will be.
So that's the bronze historic marker
Yes. we're trying to get those.
That's in the Longfellow neighborhood, but
Yeah.
yeah. So, I mean, so there's a project that we're waiting to see what there's going to be a cost on.
Right.
But we're in the very
Okay,
last
so
months of the
that's-
fiscal year. I'm assuming your fiscal year ends at the
June
end of
30th.
So I wonder
that
if we could get just a rough estimate on the historic markers so we know how much we're working with, because it's May and we only have 6 weeks to spend this. So, have him give us an outside cost. And if it's, the most it's going to cost is $4,000, we know that we've got $4,000 to work with and we can hire someone to paint a mural. There are lots of places that need murals.
I don't think we're going to be able to act that quickly. Just based on the way we see projects progress. I'm not certain that we'll be able to get an artist on board and have a project ready to go in a month.
Maybe what could be helpful is, if you guys can give me direction that that maintenance is the top priority, then I can, if we try to,
Sometimes off.
move quicker with Dave on the Will Thompson piece or the Jill Harper, if we can try to get a connection on the Jill Harper
That's
one.
the other one that we're waiting on, right? So,
We could try to chase those a little more aggressively and see if we can get them under contract before.
You know Jill?
I don't, but I'm happy to try to find her.
She's
Yeah.
an elementary school here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm happy to do,
Yeah.
I'll try to do that. But I think that sounds great. I mean, just trying to get more of the maintenance. I'm very pleased that these aren't in red, because we have looked at this list before and it was red. And that's not good. So I'm really happy to see the orange. And so, yeah, if we can get as many of these as possible, I would think that would be a real service to the city, to show that we're taking care of what we have, and simultaneously, and then that would free up money for next year to be, like Leslie was saying, to be a little bit more in creating more pieces. We'd have a better idea of some of that. So what are people's thoughts?
Yeah, I think we should look at more of these orange tier. Like, there's one, for example, this Fair Meadows Park has remove wasps as the first one. I think that'd be pretty important to get rid of. And if this is from last year, those wasps has only gotten more comfortable. And it seems like a reasonable budget too, with the questionable
And
budget
that
there.
those are estimates, and I'm guessing they're higher than,
I'm thinking the estimates we were provided are pretty low
I think that
Yeah.
they are.
in general,
yeah.
but
Just based upon what we're seeing with the piece in City Park. So, but I wonder if anyone would want to make up a proposal that we go ahead with the maintenance of the triaxial piece, and also look into trying to do at least one other, if not two other pieces, if we can move fast enough on that, or have that under contract before the end of the fiscal year.
We already have the direction though, right? I mean, you already have the direction to move forward on finding, Jill and when working through the historic markers. I don't know if we
So we
need
don't
to
need
make a motion to include that, 'cause I think it's already in our work plan.
yeah, that staff direction's clear. So it would just be a motion to approve the proposal and the $10,000 budget for restoration of the fields piece. Or field, I apologize.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm opposed. I don't, yeah,
That's okay. Yeah. Okay. But the amendment passes.
Yeah. just to let you know.
So we're going to look at the 2026-2028 Sculpture Showcase scoring criteria and rubric, and the deadline for that is coming up very quickly.
Yes, May 18th by 9 a.m.
Yes. And you can find the prospectus and the information about that on the website if you're interested. But and definitely I would encourage people to try to put the word out and forward that as they see fit. So this is from last year, correct?
Yes, that's right. So as you will recall, and for Lauren's benefit, a few months ago, we had approved all of the guidelines and criteria for this upcoming 2026 to 2028 Sculptor Showcase round. And at that time, we did not look at the rubric or the scoring approach at all. So we agreed to revisit that. And since we'll be scoring those at our June meeting, I thought that we should probably do so. So what was in your agenda packet is what we have historically used as a scoring sheet. So it's been very simple, just like a 1, 2, 3 kind of scoring. And then it's just been a discussion among the committee. So it's really ultimately up to you all how you want to proceed. We can continue to do it this way. We can add a little bit more to it. We can make it a more robust rubric. Really, whatever direction you want to go is fine. We should just decide that in advance and then stay consistent.
So I'll just read it for people. So the scoring criteria submissions will be evaluated on artistic merit, creativity, public safety, appropriateness to its location, and durability in the outdoors. Work must be able to be securely installed on a 4x4 cement pad, be of the highest quality design incorporated into its construction, and be able to withstand adverse weather conditions, high winds, rain, heat, snow, and freezing temperatures, and an unsupervised general audience. Unstable, fragile, dangerous, inappropriate, or small, lightweight works will not be accepted. And one of the things we are trying to work on is trying to increase these submissions. Currently, we've been getting very nice pieces. There's no complaints there, but we're not, it would be nice to get the word out a little bit more. So that's been something we've worked on this year, and I think we should continue to do so. But does anyone have thoughts about the scoring criteria? We've already gone through doing the matching grant. In that rubric, we break down things. That would be an option. Otherwise, we can continue with this. It has worked. So it's really up to how you feel in terms of rating these.
Given the number that we need with the pads that we have and the number of submissions, just wondering if maybe working on making sure we have more submissions before making the grading maybe more stringent seems like something to revisit possibly next year, because I believe we accept most, correct?
For example, last year, yes, we accepted, I think, all but 3 of these. However, we accepted all but 1 artist. As you can see, multiple artists submitted multiple pieces.
Yeah, I guess I'm disappointed to see so many of the same artists because there's so much opportunity for so many more artists to be displaying. And I know that comes down to just who's seeing these entries and who's able to apply. For example, like the 2 leaves, they're too similar. I want to see more.
Where do we advertise this? And who do we work with to get the word out about this? Just because I don't know anything.
So prior, it has just sort of been listed on the city site, but this year we did some research and found some places to place it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was mostly like media outlets across the state of Iowa because it is restricted to Iowa.
Yeah.
Aaron had suggested posting it on Cafe, which we decided not to do this year because of the cost, but perhaps revisit in the future.
Well, we thought we should use our resources before we commit to something larger, sort of like what you're saying, let's try to see where that sweet spot is. But I also think just, word of mouth, if we can
Well, knowing that we accepted pretty much all the artists, this is everybody that applied. We need to reach a wider audience, otherwise that we're going to have the same batch of people applying again.
Yeah. Do we reach out to the faculties at all the colleges and universities in Iowa, just because they are tapped into an art network? You know, not just the it's not just the University of Iowa, but really, like, there's so many small colleges, and then the 3 Regents universities too, and plus, like, private universities in Des Moines, and that's free. Like, they have every reason to want to spread this to alumni in the state, and it's just an idea.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
It's a good idea.
I did some of that.
I'm assuming.
What
yeah.
was the deadline on this again for?
May 18th.
Monday, May 18th.
So it's
That's
quick.
coming up. Coming
Yeah.
up.
Yes. I think at this point, if I remember correctly, we have like 4 or 5 submissions. And I think all of them entered more than one piece. 2 names I did not recognize, and maybe the other ones I did. Historically, we get them last minute, like most things. So
Yeah.
5 seems good to me so far.
But it's more, it's almost what we had.
Yeah.
So I think that's great, but I agree. I think it could be much more robust, and so that's that's definitely been something that we determined to start working more aggressively on, and so I just really encourage everyone to do due diligence and try to get people who are interested in this to know this opportunity, because it's such a great opportunity. It's hard, and we did raise the amount that the artist receives. The work is retained on view for 2 years.
Yeah.
So it goes out of that artist's inventory, and so we did add more funding. It's modest, but it's what we can do, and so.
Have we ever reached out to the Iowa Arts Council?
They were contacted this year. Mhm.
And I did.
I think they're helping to share.
Yeah, and so we are trying to
Yeah.
have it listed and stuff, but.
As far as criteria, though, I don't know that I see a need to change anything unless anyone else has a problem with that.
I think the limits cover most of the things that would make it
Yeah.
fragile or vulnerable or offensive.
And safety is always a big criteria for us, as well as, how is this going to hold up for 2 years of Iowa winters and summers and the variety of weather we get. I don't think this is an agenda item, but I just want to make sure that we're all in agreement, because, I'm very open to this changing.
I wish we could open it up to Minnesota artists, because I know so many sculpture artists that would love to do this.
Well, maybe they know Iowa artists, so you could.
I'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've asked a few, but yeah.
But it's a great opportunity.
And where is the work put on view? Just, sorry,
We have 8 pads throughout the community, so there's 3 in Riverfront Crossings Park, 2 more along the trail that continues south of that park to connect to Terry Trueblood, 1 at Terry Trueblood, 1 at Mercer Park, and 1 at Scott Park.
perfect.
Did you want to pull up the map? Is that hard to do?
I'm not sure if I have the map. I can look if it's online.
I have a pretty good sense of where all those locations are now. I'm slowly but surely internalizing the map of Iowa City. and
But one of the things that
Could you
we've
bring it
been
to
working
Victoria?
on is our interface. And so that's gotten much more robust. We're using this
Yeah.
new system, so.
It's funny. I just met with a bunch of MFA students the other day, and they were like, there's no place to exhibit.
I was just working with them today to
I
add
sent
these.
it to
Yeah.
artworks.
I-
I did it last year,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I told them, look in different places.
Well, we just saw Olivia, like she created a space where
Right.
I didn't realize, I never knew that, like, what a great idea, what a great place,
Great
so.
idea.
But anyway, so this lets you know sort of where these are.
Great.
So does anyone else have any comments or concerns or issues about the rubric?
I think it's fine as is.
Okay, you feel okay? Okay. So staff updates?
Okay, we moved quickly.
Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just mention too, historically we've done staff updates. You've given the opportunity for myself, Ron, and Julie to comment. I thought in the future we could add staff in ex officio updates so that if Lauren has updates from the university's public art side, she could share those. From my end this month, we talked about Sculptor Showcase, so I already shared where we're at with those. Communications will plan to do another little push here at the end to try to get it out in the one outlet we can control, so we'll do that. The Public Art Archive map, as you can see, is now live, so it's very, very, very exciting.
It really is.
Yeah,
You did a great job.
It looks really great. They've been so lovely to work with. Many filtering options, so please go on and play with it. And we're still tweaking it. We're still adding some and just refining others. So we're still continuing to work on that. But as of now, that is the link to the public art map on our website. We did talk about your desire to ultimately embed it into our website. They can do that, and they said normally what they do is embed like just the map or a sub-collection page. Our ask to embed the full site is a little different, but they said it's probably possible, so they'll work with us to figure that out. And our communications team is also open to figuring that out too. But we will not tackle that until the fall because we're going through a website redesign process, so we don't want to go through all the work, redesign the website, and then it may be broken. We have to redo it. So we'll hold off till then to do that. But for now, it's available. Please share it out. And I think that's all. Is there any questions about this project?
How much of the archive is already live? Like,
What do you mean?
pretty much everything that we have like on the site. You mentioned you keep adding things. Just curious, like.
Oh, yes. Everything that we have is live now. So every artwork in the community is on here. As you saw when I pulled up the Sculptor Showcase, those were the only ones we are still adding. We're also starting to add in just a backlog. So where it says on view here, you can have off view as an option. So we're going to add some old pieces that like are still nostalgic for people. The Three Women Peeing, for example, the Krios installations that the downtown district had brought downtown. So we're going to add those in too, just as kind of like that archive. Otherwise, then we're adding like certain tags. The downtown district asked if we could have a collection so that, art that's in their district could be one filter. So just those kinds of things. Ultimately, I'd love if we could work with the university to try to get all of their collection on here too, which is very impressive and large. So I'm sure that's a big project, but those are the kinds of things we're just
Or links,
tweaking.
yeah, some way of.
And if, as you look through, if you see like, something that needs correction or could use improvement, please let me know.
Or links to the artists as well.
Yeah, I mostly copied whatever we had from our old map. So if there are artists who want their work linked, we should do that.
Maybe a little history about that artist or history on the piece itself.
It varies, so I can just let me try to
I
pull
looked
one
through
up.
some of them and
Yeah.
it didn't.
So
Okay, yeah.
this is an example of one piece where it talks a little bit about why the piece was commissioned, what it's about, that kind of thing. In this case, I guess there's not an artist statement because it was just a commissioned work.
I love that. Yeah.
Is there a way we could offer to artists to, I don't want to put, in a public setting, I don't want to put up your email and say contact Rachel. But, is there a way that
Can you go
we
back
could
to
let
that,
them know
please?
they can reach out if they would like to link their websites to the map?
So is the Thomas Agron at the top, is that live? Is that just the pieces that he has listed within Iowa City? Okay.
But on his page, no, there isn't information. Just
Got it. Okay.
I'm sorry, was the question whether to ask these artists if they want their portfolios linked?
If they would like, their website link.
Okay.
To it. But I wouldn't want to put, because we know some of these, you're in contact with some of these artists, but some of these artists we don't know, we're trying to find. So I don't want to put your,
Yeah.
call Rachel.
Well, I can try to reach out to the ones I mean, most of them are probably on our artist registry. So we would already know if they're open to their email being on our website in general. So I can.
So that, it seems like a
do some
nice
outreach.
service if it's
Sure.
not too overwhelming. That was a great suggestion.
The university art collection, adding it to this is a nice idea. There are some challenges, I think. You know, one is that there's no single body overseeing that sculpture collection. Much of it is under the control of Joe Bellotta, who is the university's master planner. He oversees the bulk of the campus art collection. And then some of it is really controlled by, I say controlled, I mean like, you know, protected, stewarded by the deans of whatever college it's in. So I know that Dan Clay, for instance, at the College of Education, is moving some of the indoor sculpture out and creating a real sculpture garden around the Louise Nevelson. I'm hugely relieved to see the aspen and the other trees that were there were, I forget, they were like an invasive species. The trees had grown all around it, which was terrible for the sculpture, and he's cut that all back and now is landscaping around it. So that will be very nice in the little courtyard of the Levitt Center. You know, they're going to be doing landscaping, and I'm told conservation of the Sol LeWitt that is by the laser, what is the name of that building? Do you know the one I'm talking about? The one that is,
The Frank Gehry?
yeah, the Frank Gehry building.
I forget what it, I just call it
The Gehry building.
the Gehry building.
So that's ongoing. But, you know, things happen with the sculpture collection that you know, like I have no oversight of it. So I'm not always informed or consulted, which makes, things move. And so I would worry a little bit that if we established it on the map, things might get put into storage or move to a different location without me necessarily knowing.
Yeah.
Which was one reason I told Rod, I'm very happy to be on this committee, but I can't speak for the campus art collection just
Right.
because it's its own thing.
That's understandable. There are some university pieces on here. Oh, that's not one. Where is one? Like, so I'm not sure who. I didn't add these, but someone else did. These existed before we entered our pieces. So this in line with the thing in itself is one example, and I saw a few of those. But who knows?
Should we reach out to him? I mean, you know, at least you
Joe?
have the names of these people and just, you know, just to reach out and let them know just make them aware of what we're doing.
You could.
Yeah, I'd be happy.
I mean, Joe is not an art guy. He's really in charge of the campus master plan. And so he's thinking about the growth of the campus over a period of 10, 20, 30 years. And I think he holds on to the campus art collection under his oversight because he wants to have the freedom to move it where he needs to move it to make way for new construction. And so he's a construction guy. So he which is part of, you know, a good person under Joe that is closer to the campus art collection is Sean Kleppe, who is the person in facilities management who, you know, manages, you know, she doesn't have any control about what happens to it, but she takes care of it, the campus art collection. Kleppe. She's wonderful. She'd be a better person to make aware of this. And then she can go to Joe with something if we need something.
Awesome.
It'd just be nice to, you know, we want to be more in conversation. We want to be able to signify the robust arts community that is in Iowa City and make it easy for visitors to experience it, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the goal. And I think the university's, you know, depending on how they want to do it. These are great websites. It's, you know, they could make their own and just link to the city or whatever, but it's nice for somebody who's visiting who might want to do a little tour to be able to know how to move.
I love it. I would love for the moment someone sets foot on the campus of the University of Iowa to know that we are a great public university for the arts, because we are. And, you know, that means leveraging the sculpture collection, like lighting and some things that we don't have in place yet, but maybe we will have. You know, I would like to see that happen in the
Yeah.
next 10 years. I'm chipping away at it.
Great. Well,
Yeah.
it seems like we can
Yeah.
help with that, and just bringing people into conversation. You know, good things have always come out of that. So
Yeah.
I think that's what we should try to do.
Yeah.
Okay, the other update I had was on the Hello Lamppost project. So I think I shared an email update last month when our meeting got cut short, but we had spoken at a previous meeting about, you know, selecting a few artworks to focus on. And as we kind of tried to work through how that would actually play out, it started getting a little weird. Like it just wasn't clear how you would maybe access it and what you would be doing if you were to initiate a chat. So we decided to really focus on the Irving Weber sculpture as that entry point. And then that will can route a person multiple ways. So the first way would be the public. Some librarians from the Iowa City Public Library have helped curate some interesting content from his writings. So you can learn about history through his writings. There's some multimedia to it. So someone could ask, you know, as they're standing on Iowa Avenue, quote unquote, talking with this Irving Weber sculpture, they could ask what the street looked like 100 years ago, and they can get an image of it. So there's that kind of thing. And then the other routes that it would do would be to talk about our public art collection in general. So it could include a link to our full map. It can suggest other pieces nearby. It can ask for feedback about, you know, what people like to see with public art in the community. So that's kind of a general sense of how the conversations will go. It's planning to launch. We haven't got the test conversation yet, but we should be getting that next week. And then our hope would be to launch at the end of May. We plan to keep it up throughout the summer at least and do some check-in points on the data that we get to see how people are engaging, how long they're engaging, what routes they're ultimately interested in. So I can bring some of that data back for you all. And then from there, like I said, it's just a pilot. So we'll just see how it goes if the community's interested in it, and then decide if we want to continue, expand, drop it, or whatever we want to do. Questions about that one?
That sounds really cool.
Yeah, we're excited.
I think
about
it's awesome. So is there a way that they could also have sound so people can hear like what it was like 100 years ago with the horses
There
driving?
probably is, but we don't have that. So we didn't create anything new. We just kind of started small. I forgot to mention, I was able to connect with one of his grandchildren, or I connected with a few of his grandchildren, but there's only one who remembers him, and he was interested in talking to me about it a little. So he mentioned that who he thinks is actually really interesting is Irving's wife, Martha. And so he was able to provide some information about her. So we're going to have that in there too, so people can learn about Martha, because Irving gets all the spotlight, right? So that was fun. But they're generally supportive of the project. They think it's a great way to like connect a new generation with his writings. And, you know, we were clear it's not like we're personifying him. It's still third person, but we're using him as the entry point into that conversation. So it's nice.
It's really exciting.
Yeah,
I can't
it's
wait
kinda
till
cool.
more of the pieces, and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it's starting to launch. That's exciting.
That's all the updates I have, unless there's something I didn't talk about that you have questions on.
Is there any old or new business? Anything anybody wants to put on the agenda, or definitely reach out to Rachel, but if anything comes to mind, you can voice it now. So so the closing date is May 18th, and then you'll be compiling all of those, and when should we begin to look for those in our mailboxes?
I can try to get them to you hopefully by within a week from May 18th, if that's possible.
So many, I don't know.
So I'll try to get it to you by that following Monday. And then you'll have a couple weeks before our June meeting to look
To
at
look
them.
through all the materials.
Yep.
So and some of you who haven't seen the packets, they're pretty extensive, you know, what the artists submit.
Yes. Yep.
So it does take a little time to read through and assess it, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
It'd be great
Set some time aside now.
coming. Anything else? Would anyone like to move to adjourn?
So moved.
Anyone care to second that?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.